Good morning, all my call center friends. I want to give my number one call center operations tip, and that's controlling the first 30 minutes of every single shift that your associates are about to work. When your associates come in on the call center floor, it should be loud, it should be energetic, it should be a quiet, docile place, right? There should be music going. All your supervisors, your management trainees should be up. They should not be typing an email as your associates are walking into their call center. Making sure that they're welcome, they're greeted. The next piece of this is once you have your associates there, is to take the time to recap the day of yesterday, recap it as a team, and then recap everyone's individual goals, what they were supposed to hit yesterday. Did they hit it? Keep everything positive though. The next thing is you're gonna give the goals for the day. Give your team goals, and then give overall individual goals for every single rep. I like to just kind of go and write them down on like a yellow Post-it note, maybe stick it. They might not be the overall goal you're looking for, but that for that individual, keep moving them down the road to where they need to be. So make sure that those goals kind of match where their level is of skill at the time. And then last but not least, we like to talk about how we're gonna have fun today. Every single supervisor should have a game, should have some type of motivation on her team, because this is a tough job. This is very difficult. So you got to make sure that you're motivating as much as you can. Having that done, that takes about the first 30 minutes. You are in total control now of what happens for the rest of the day.
Today I want to focus on the phrase, the tone is the message. It's the number one tip that I can give when you are training your contact center reps. So many times when we consult with an organization, we see that their training is good when it comes to the actual screen training. What screen to be on, what to click. They do a very poor job of actually instilling culture in the tone. You have to make sure that the tone is the message and that your reps understand that. So if you're doing any type of screen training, that's great, you gotta do it. But make sure that you're role playing right after you do that screen training to always be instilling the right tone in the voice. The message gets lost when you're clicking the right things, when you're doing what the customer wants, but if that tone is off, the whole experience goes south. So remember, the number one tip and the thing that you need to really instill, understand that your reps need to know that the tone is the message.
To all my call center colleagues, all you call center managers, executives, team leads, supervisors, remember you gotta bring the energy, right? It's Monday morning. You can't have a bad morning, you're not allowed. Right, some of your call center associates are gonna come in and they're gonna be dragging. It's your job to motivate them. It's your job to have the energy to get them going. Show the energy, have the energy, get your team going, get your floor going, have an awesome week.
When it comes to coaching, reps that maybe aren't receptive to it or have a little bit of that attitude when they get pulled and are about to be coached, talk to them, kind of, I don't want to say catch them off guard, but kind of get them in a mood that's not really talking about why they're there. And then have them listen to the call and have them kind of coach themselves as he's guiding them along. Works a lot better than having you just go in there and say, listen, Janie, again, you didn't do this, you didn't read this, there was no greeting, you didn't read the disclosure. And it feels like it's just kind of a beat down session. So again, just another tip for a rep that maybe doesn't handle coaching very well. Have them listen to it, have them kind of critique themselves as you're guiding them down the way. I think it'll go a long way towards getting the results that you guys need.
I want to talk about employee engagement in your call center. One of the tools that we use is to form leadership committees in the contact center. We take those reps that are the leaders, right? The ones that everybody kind of gravitates to, the ones that anytime that there's an issue you kind of hear from, you want to treat them like gold, right? Any leaders you do. So what we like to do is really form a committee with these guys that we can, talk about any issues that's going on in the call center. You get to kind of hear the rumblings as they're happening, hopefully even before they're happening. Anytime you have new chairs, new headsets, all that stuff, you get their buy-in first, saves you a lot of headache in the long run. And it also engages those guys who are really important because they're the frontline guys that are really, doing the job day to day. So again, looking for some employee engagement tips, look for a committee of your leaders.
One of the things that we have set up, and I think is a great tip for any call center, is to set up a Rideshare. So if you do ride the bus, or if you are looking for a ride to work if you don't have a car, we do have reps with cars, supervisors with cars that have signed up for this as well, and they kind of team up and see who's close together, and we actually do a Rideshare. So the rep with the car, the supervisor with the car will actually go pick up the other associate, and that way they can split gas. It's a little bit cheaper coming to work. And it also kind of puts a little bit of peer pressure, right? When somebody's kind of coming to pick you up every day to make sure that you're up and kind of going. So it's kind of a win-win from that perspective too. The other thing that we do, we are in Pennsylvania, we do get snow. Any type of snow days that we have here, we allow our reps to Uber in and we pick up their Uber. So that's something that you might want to think about too, is kind of setting up either an Uber account or at least having the reps. In our call center, one of the things I would highly recommend is to get on a platform like Slack. Now, there's Microsoft Teams too that I know comes with Microsoft 365, so it might be a little bit more cost effective for you, but Slack's still super cheap. We use it in our call center. We have no email, no internal emails really in our whole entire company, just external emails. We have categories that are set up for each of our different clients, right? So you guys, if you're an internal center, would just set them up for maybe tier 1 support, tier 2 support, customer service, sales. And that way we can keep anything that we want within those channels. So if a supervisor is focused solely on sales, we can just send that to her. Not everybody has to read it. But then you can do the fun stuff too, like the birthdays and we have a channel, right? So anybody who's doing really good, we have an EQA, which is our quality assurance channel. So all the communication back and forth on all of the QA, goes into one repository that we can constantly be looking at. And then we'll do things like a game channel, right? So we're constantly updating and have a running tally or a tab on the games that people can play in their call center when reps and everybody thinks of new stuff. So art and science to it, a lot of fun. I think it keeps everything in order, all of our documents, everything for specific programs, for specific clients, for you internal guys, for your specific call center channels. Just another tip, it's way better than email. Take a look at Slack, take a look at Teams, take a look at one of those apps to increase the communication culture in your contact center. The first thing you guys know I'm going to say is define your culture, right? So again, us, sunshine attitude, entrepreneurial mindset, attitude, and effort. Those are the 2 pillars that we're trying to hire, incent, promote off of. We try to get to the heart of the person. We try to get their attitude, right? What type of individual are they? We want them to talk about their friends, maybe talk about their family, talk about situations when they're interacting with people. Do you get the feeling that they enjoy it? Because that's what we want. We want people who are going to be happy, who are team players. We have to make sure that you're trying to get the real personality out. So again, I love the Google type goofy questions that maybe gets them to laugh, relax for a little bit, and really open up a little bit. So again, like things like the Korean question. If you were Korean, what color would you be and why? It gets them to think a little outside the box. And you can kind of see, what type are they? Are they like, this is stupid, I'm this type of person? Or are they, kind of a little bit of fun? Is there a little bit of fun in their personality? So on the flip side, maybe you don't need that, right? Maybe you're looking for that inside sales guy, that person who's going to work alone, who doesn't need to be in a team environment, who you just want sales. Right? There's certain things, and you can kind of think of, I think, some of those type of questions to ask along those lines. So again, we get resumes all the time of call center experience this long, and we compare to other associates or prospective associates that have this much call center experience, but we hire this person over this person because they fit the culture that we're looking for. So many times we see call centers that are really stressing just the sales aspect, right? Cross-sell, upsell numbers, cost per call, just number of sales. They forget the QA piece. They forget that quality aspect of it. If you're a center, I'm sure that you're scoring your calls. Make sure that you're ranking those as well. And I would even say incent off quality and those sales numbers and find some type of proficiency pay that you can kind of use that with. Think of something that you want to change for the better. It could be something big, it could be something small. But think about it, write it down, because once you write it down, it then becomes a goal. It's not just a thought that you have of something that you want to change, but it actually becomes an attainable goal. Over this next couple days that you have off, when you come back in your center, start to put a plan in on how you're going to tweak some of those things. So whether that is, you want to change the way that you greet people in the morning, you want to change how your management training, or maybe try to set a management training program up. Think of something that is core to your call center that you want to change, because now is the time to do it. The motivation's there.